Welcome back. You're watching Mississippi Insight, a new program where we look into the issues affecting our state. Politics in Washington seem more divisive than ever. A divided Congress and an impending 2020 presidential election that could seem even more explosive than 2016, whose wounds have not yet seemed to heal. We are joined again by former Congressman Greg Harper. Congressman, I want to get right into the president and the upcoming election. In an interview on ABC, President Trump said that he would listen to information on his opponents delivered by foreign governments and then decide whether to go to the FBI. What do you believe a candidate should do in that case?
Well, obviously, opposition research happens all the time. Candidates do that for and against each other on a regular basis.
Right.
And so people may have information. Nobody goes to the FBI right off the bat unless there's something that's of a criminal nature that needs to be reported right away. So, you know, I think the president's position is probably being taken a little bit out of context from what I heard on his interview. And that is, look, it could be both. You know, if somebody has info, you listen to that. Then it may be something, hey, we need to send this up the chain. But the FBI, if they were doing this, they would be constantly hearing about opposition research on different candidates. The key here is it coming from a foreign government? And even if it is there, we see in this situation what was used. We know that there was no Russian collusion in this case. Did they try to interfere with our elections? Well, sure, that's no doubt. But was there collusion here that we spent over 2 years of Mueller's time to try to determine that? Well, it's clear that that didn't happen. So it is something that it's the nature of politics sometimes, that there's always going to be stuff that's going to be covered, uncovered. But I do believe that in this case, you can't say a hard and fast rule. It's a case-by-case basis.
Yeah, well, here's what Senator Lindsey Graham had to say about this issue. Listen to that.
I think it's a mistake. I think it's a mistake of law. I don't want to send a signal to encourage this. Giving you anything of value, whether it be money or information on your opponent, the right answer is no. And I've been consistent about that.
And what do you make of what Senator Lindsey Graham had to say?
I have great respect for Senator Lindsey Graham. He's done a great job. He's certainly stood up for President Trump when others did not. But it's clear, look, I never received any opposition research when I was running because I didn't want it. So that was my decision not to have that. Nor did we do anything of a negative nature in our campaign. And we made the decision no matter what, we wouldn't go negative on anyone. So that's always been our personal position. What
do you make up of the divisiveness in Washington? You spent 10 years there, and there's just a lot of infighting. What do you make of it? Because Senator Thad Cochran was one that reached out, but it doesn't seem like those in Washington want to reach out anymore.
Well, there are those that get along very well, but guess what? The news is not going to usually cover that because it doesn't bring in viewers. You know, if members are holding hands and singing Kumbaya, that's not really going to be newsworthy. It's never as bad as they want you to believe. The problem is, it's probably different from 15, 20 years ago even, is the onset of social media. So if something happens now, it's out even before you could write a story on it. It's going to be in the news. So that's one of the challenges that I think a candidate or an elected official will always have. And it's also another reason that you have to encourage listeners, look behind a 30-second soundbite and get to the truth yourself.
So you're saying it may not be as bad as it appears to be?
I can only tell you that one of my best friends in Congress is Peter Welch, a Democrat House member from Vermont. He's far to the left. I'm conservative Republican, but we've been great friends for more than 10 years. And yeah, we'd have a difference of opinion on a lot of issues, but we never made it personal. And if you don't make it personal, you can still come together to work on important issues where you can.
Yeah. Let's go back to state politics. When it comes to voters, how do voters figure out who to vote for or get to know the candidates outside of kind of getting the information from us on TV or these commercials, these ads? How do they really know who to vote for?
Well, you can get to know them. You know, some of it is just going to work, maybe getting to know them, volunteering to do a little work on their campaign, finding out more about them, ask their friends and neighbors, and come to a better understanding of whether you care for that person or trust that person to be your elected official. You know, my first campaign I worked on, I ran the phone bank for Judge Charles Pickering in 1978 when he lost the Republican primary for the U.S. Senate against some guy named Senator Thad Cochran. And so that was how I started as a college student and have continued in a lifetime of being a highly unpaid political volunteer.
All right. Well, you look good outside of being out of Congress. You enjoying your time off now?
I'm very, very happy to be back in Mississippi and to be with Watkins and Eager. It's a great thing, Byron.
And a new grandfather, right?
And 11 months old. It's the best.
Well, congratulations,
thank you.
and thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.
All right, and we'll be right back.